For more than a decade, a dam in the small town of Manitowish Waters has caused a big controversy.
We have 12 years of investment of time, energy, and money.
The current Rest Lake Dam was built in 1926. The water levels have been raised and lowered the same way since 1939. But some people feel that should change. They want the water to flow more like it would if it wasn't dammed. John Bates and Terry Dalton have wanted it to change for years. They both live below the dam. Bates has lived on the Manitowish River for 31 years.
Because rivers are not supposed to be, and lakes, not supposed to be raised and lowered like you would a swimming pool.
Right now, the dam is managed in a way that has upset many people who live below it. The Rest Lake Dam is here. In the spring, water is held above the dam to fill the Manitowish chain. That causes the Manitowish River below it to dry up. It can also affect the Turtle Flambeau flowage, which is further below the dam here.
We are starved of water on this end. Whatever the wildlife species and or plant that has grown suddenly doesn't have that water base that they'd had before.
Then in the fall, the dam is open and water levels in the lake suddenly drop 3.5 feet. Dropping the water levels prevents ice from damaging permanent shoreland buildings and piers on the Manitowish chain. But it also causes the Manitowish River to flood.
This decision isn't being made to enhance and protect and conserve wildlife and or plants. It's being done to conserve docks.
The Manitowish Chain Defense Fund was created years ago to fight to maintain how the dam is currently operated. Members are worried about what would happen to permanent piers and boathouses if water isn't drained in the fall.
That ice, when it gets to moving around, it can do a lot of damage.
The Defense Fund did a survey on the types of piers on the chain in the winter of 2012. On the 10 lakes in the chain, more than 900 piers were permanent. Only nearly 300 were removable.
This chain has been operated this way for 75 years, and most of the structures that have been built within that 75 years based on the fact that there would be the drawdown.
No lake chain in Wisconsin draws its water levels down as much as the Manitowish chain to simply protect private property. Last year, after 12 years of study, the Wisconsin DNR recommended reducing the drawdown to only 1 foot in the fall. That would make it similar to the Minocqua and Eagle chains. But after arguments and public hearings, that plan was scrapped. That's left some below the dam unhappy.
To treat one lake as different from all the rest in the state and say, well, they can manage their water levels to preserve shoreland structures is really an unfair practice.
John Hansen sent us to look at the Chippewa Retreat Resort on Lake Manitowish. The Defense Fund says the resort is one of many businesses on the chain that would be hurt by higher water levels in the winter. The resort's owner says ice could damage millions of dollars of property, but he refused to talk with us on camera. But soon, legislators in Madison might have control over what happens to it. That's because there's a proposal in the state budget that would give control over the dam to the legislature.
It just would be a little more complicated for the DNR to do because they'd have to go to legislative committees to get approval.
Hazelhurst Senator Tom Tiffany is on the legislature's powerful budget writing committee. He chose to include a 1-paragraph-long Rest Lake Dam proposal in the state budget, a document hundreds of pages in length. Bates and Dalton are worried about what that means for bodies of water below the dam.
For this to be a last-minute addition to the budget bill defeats our over 12 years of work. I think it dishonors democracy.
Recovering the news in Manitowish Waters, Caitlin Howe, Newswatch 12.
The water in Wisconsin is forever free, is what our Constitution says.
People in Vilas and Iron counties fought for years over what to do with the Rest Lake Dam.
This issue's been going on for over a decade and has not come to a resolution. And I think it's time that it comes to a resolution.
Right now, the dam is managed in a way that could prevent fish from spawning in the spring. The Rest Lake Dam is here. In the spring, water is held above the dam to fill the Manitowish chain. That causes the Manitowish River below it to dry up. It can also affect the turtle flambeau flowage, which is further below the dam here. Rivers are supposed to flood in the spring.
It actually causes fish stranding. Fish are stranded in the backwaters and they die.
Then in the fall, the dam is open and water levels in the lake suddenly drop 3.5 feet. Dropping the water levels prevents ice from damaging permanent shoreland buildings and piers on the Manitowish chain, but it also causes the Manitowish River to flood. The DNR studied how that affects the ecosystem. Tom Giroux worked on that study. He retired from the DNR in 2013.
We found some fairly disturbing and significant impacts to the aquatic ecosystem from the current operation and the drawdown that currently occurs.
After years of study, the Wisconsin DNR recommended reducing the drawdown to only 1 foot in the fall. That would make it similar to the Minocqua and Eagle chains. But many people who live on the Manitowish chain were worried about how that would affect permanent shoreline boathouses and piers.
There are wet boathouses on the Eagle River chain, Minocqua chain, and the proposed order is very similar to those three chains, the Three Lakes, Eagle River, and Minocqua.
People who don't want the dam's operation to change did a survey on the types of piers on the chain in the winter of 2012. On the 10 lakes in the chain, more than 900 piers were permanent. Only nearly 300 were removable. Hazelhurst Senator Tom Tiffany is on the legislature's powerful budget writing committee. He chose to include a 1-paragraph-long Rest Lake Dam proposal in the state budget, a document hundreds of pages in length. Under the proposal, the DNR couldn't make changes without legislators' approval.
The state budget isn't the ideal place to put it. It is a place that we can do it. And I really would like to see this come to a resolution to give those people in Manitowish waters certainty.
Senator Tiffany says there are other bodies of water in the state that operate the same way as the Manitowish chain. But no lake chain in Wisconsin draws its water levels down as much as the Manitowish chain to simply protect private property.
The water bodies that do have these significant drawdowns are all for hydroelectric power generation.
Some think the proposal might be unconstitutional under Wisconsin's public trust doctrine. The doctrine says everyone in the state equally owns the water.
The water needs to be managed for the interest of the general public, and that private interests need to be secondary.
Senator Tiffany thinks it doesn't violate the public trust doctrine.
The public trust doctrine was about allowing commerce. And to me, this helps establish that commerce is okay on the Manitowish chain.
The doctrine says that people who own land bordering lakes and rivers do have rights to the water. But the Wisconsin State Supreme Court has ruled that when there's conflict between property owners and the public's rights are more important.
Private property owner has the right to navigate, reasonable use of the water, reasonable access for irrigation, agriculture, all of that needs to be factored in, but it has to be balanced against the public's interests, which are a healthy aquatic ecosystem.
Giroux says if the legislature comes up with a plan to balance public and private interests using science, the budget proposal might work. Senator Tiffany thinks it can. We're covering the news in Manitowish waters. Caitlin Howe, Newswatch 12.